Hello. It's late at night. I was just watching about on Newsmax TV about John F. Kennedy's assassination. John F. Kennedy said that there's a conspiracy against this country. And the mafia, there's someone on that show said the mafia, how could they be, but the mafia couldn't get into that place to do those things with his body or whatever like that. The mafia is recorded with predicate acts, methods. America is about a crime method, and people pretending to be against it by pretending to be against crimes. Sequence shifting. They have some sick psychology doctors with criminal foreign influence. They have lie progressions. They have roles with drugs, crimes, and medicines, crimes with kids. The ones pretending to be against it, those doctors, and their family members and their kids. They have methods that are bound by the method, so it is recorded, discernible. But you have to follow mandated law, and you didn't do it through administrations. They're preventing all locations, areas, and states are criminally foreign influenced. Other countries are the same thing. Hundreds of countries at once, shared here and there, individually grouped in together. Tactical ulterior from how we are individuals grouped in together by nature's identity of value progression and what is positive or negative to it. And we have negative value nature progressions, acts, and natures, and demonstration of it since before our founding, because the ground was tactically denatured between Native Americans A through Z and between colonists A through Z. They forced the Native Americans A through Z to blame other things other than themselves for what the breaching method caused. Even where they didn't force it, in other words, no one had time. They were forced to entertain what nature would continue to demonstrate. Negative value, nature, progressions, acts, nature. And they recruited forced responses to that, forced counters to it, only capable of defending themselves. They're simultaneously defending criminally foreign influence premises treatments, sequence treatments, physical delusions that your psychologist leaders have. They're involved with drugs, crimes, and medicines, crimes with kids on the campuses. I've been asking every day for someone to respond. They make allegations against people making allegations. Then they cannot continue forward with their positions into branch. So they have to pretend other. So they've been hiding their lie progressions by self-value and criminally foreign influence, all private, like prisons, tied to the branches of government. You have some sick men and women with gun badges and guns because they're victim predators. They wanted to be able to, I'm a good less success. Success, they judge success. How has anyone had success when could speak for success when that overtly tactically denatured is causing negative value nature progressions, action natures? That's what's causing the gun shootings. Only the extent of it is debatable. See, but we have people debating the extent of things originally and still with physical delusions, criminally foreign, that would be overcome, but there are rules predators simultaneously. They are simultaneously delusions, raw. In other words, overtly criminally foreign influence, facts treatments, opinions on other people's behavior. So they also recorded consciously causing people the needs to raise their voice or to say nothing, and then they lie about the outcome. See, we have investigators, and just perception of all formal people need to hide lie progressions right back to each identity of the ground location. They have a whole bunch of people from my town I don't know at all, and people that I barely know, I only know that came up to me with a whole bunch of confessions at once that are recorded, confessed, and demonstrated, and involved also with the World Trade Center in Washington, D.C. Clear as day, sickly, clearly foreign influence right through administrations. They pretend that the president they're saying, it's ego and things like that. First of all, they had physical delusions when they use words like ego. When they use words like narcissism, because they're faking conversations with people. You're allowing the physical delusions of criminally foreign influence private with the branches of government clear as day and capable of speaking for why negative value nature of progressions, acts, and natures are upon the locations where there are the most shootings. On every location, let alone. Clear as day. This was designed by that was entrenched here since before our founding parents, with slavery sickly distinctly in the North and the South. And our founders would be livid with you for not told and understood and used as evidence, as correlation / discorrelation, where and how that was. Prevented free speech from being demonstrated, how all identity ground locations were employed by a breaching method, and as a breaching method's natures, as criminal insidious natures. You cannot, so in other words, our founding parents didn't have slavery. That was entrenched here. If you don't understand the tactics why George Washington had to come here, counter-extort Connecticut, what is now Connecticut, and leave slavery entrenched here, and in the North and in the South sickly distinctly, then you can't understand America. It's very simple. So then they have to pretend other. So they are, not by accident, they have each age of fact sheet nature. Only the fakes follow, unobstructed. And all exceptions, they have methods, because they already have takes on American history that they can't defend. They already have takes on crimes that they can't defend and afford all that is actually capable of each age of fact sheet nature, each location simultaneously inherent, active, progressive means. They know that they are recorded with all kinds of juxtaposed natures of organized crime uses of Wethersfield's elections locations, including the religious locations, which distinctly is with other natures of organized crime associated with the people that they attach me to fake conversations with, fake natures of ties to, like a Joshua Julian with the Facebook page of the principal child offenders campus. Now there were a whole bunch of doctors, and the military has roles with the investigators. They have military families involved with the investigators associated with Hartford Hospital. You sick punks. Why I have to ask you 50,000 times nicely, I asked first too. You make sure they respond to my behavior, because they have words like behavior where they're describing people's behavior sickly, criminally. Now you're gonna follow mandated law for them. Someone make sure I get heard. Someone, because I don't know if they're gonna show me. In other words, they're showing me only to themselves first, and then they complain about other people's things. They do this on the internet media. They call a police department with people because they're influenced too by the agencies. Former director of the FBI in his defendant capacities, Robert Luskin, Wake Up People, his co-defendants, their family members, recorded, confessed, and demonstrated involved with predicate acts at the schools I went to, a grammar school. Through that, and then they used it. So I got to see how they were using people with 3 other schools I went to before I went to my grammar school, which I didn't go to the kindergarten there, but I went 1st grade through 6th grade. And they use sequence shifts, and they use methods with their kids where they have them come in from other classrooms, and they have a whole bunch of ways that you can't respond to someone without being punished for that, where everyone's playing stupid because they're attaching you to fake law. They're lying about what happened before there's good and bad relations between people and neutral. These are identity thefts and frauds, clear as day, are the subject of what American history is about, against everyone, against native, sickly distinctly. That's the method. They can't afford their methods from being discerned because those methods are bound. Those identity ground locations interbreach. You think they have integrity? They have to pretend they have integrity. How? They have to rely on criminally foreign influence sequence treatments. They have to rely on criminally foreign influence premises treatments, finite, active, progressive ones, where identity is a semi-nature relationship. That science uses where and how we are individuals grouped in together. The president is an individual voice. They are pretending that people, when he says people aren't defending him, they mean his premises. They mean his premises treatments. See, they are preventing one, and then they're forcing them to entertain what, but this is an established journalist, and because they have too many companies sick private with the interbranch private. We have some sick criminal justice people. Sandy Hook, that prison has people involved with their patients and criminals on and off the campuses with predicate acts, on and off the election locations, the same ones involved on and off the body dumping spots of those killers and people associated with it and their family members and the locations next to it. The investigators are used that way. These are also people involved with predicate acts with the people that live next to schools in the city. And intercities connected. There are connections between them, but those connections are are revealed by when you're going to follow mandated law for your branches of government who can't, because they forge and switch names already. They use their identity, the ground locations already sickly criminally. You think, see, when you see they can't afford to have a quality of fact, cheap in nature about who killed John F. Kennedy, about, they make people opinions all dishonestly. So then they value it. They value arrays of opinions using the same criminally foreign influence premises treatments. Like white and black people regarding black rights, regarding Native American rights. No one ever spoke for them with science, or it would be gone. It would be unacceptable. That's not our means. Since before cars, they made up the suburbs pathology and the suburban/urban pathology that was to be unfolded. Anyone was going to build other. I learned in Central Connecticut State University in notes, not in a book. They hurt them and their family, made them scared as hell. They have witch trials in Wethersfield, Connecticut, right around the corner from where they have a house associated right around the corner from where George Washington had to meet with the French general, again, to counter-extort. How do you know that? And to enable the counter-extortion, because they had to leave slavery. No person wanted slavery. Our founding parents, what they actually told us is that they wanted the surface values of the Constitution unabridged simultaneously. See, we have too many fake punks, and they're simultaneously not following mandated law. So we have to deal with their roles with the overt criminal enterprises. Plural. There are people that were recorded, confessed, and demonstrated associated with the Los Solitos, like people with the name Joey Quest, associated with Fred Grouzet, and others that recorded themselves through time, involved with private school kids, involved with people with Central Connecticut State University, involved with predicate acts. There's people with all the different police forms. Then they use other people's names behind the back. All exception nature, a demonstration of it. Like that guy CJ, I don't know his last name even, associated with modern pastry. You guys don't have one man who could get me a response from the police? Where the welfare police? You got people associated with you guys involved with confessions of WFSB and people associated with Hartford Hospital, fabricating audio and video, fake conversations with me, fake ties to me, fake natures of ties to me. Further with the principal sex offenders campus. Further with the Joshua Julian, who was pretending lies with overt criminal enterprises and federal criminals, with people associated that was doing the same lies with federal criminals before they got caught. Before the Obama administration, when I was in high school, they still hadn't been caught. Federal criminals that were then caught, that had been involved with pretending other people were doing what they were doing, including my father. They were trying to blame it on him because they had a daughter, Johnny LaConch's daughter. They have a family that lived on Dearborn Street in Newington, also recorded, confessed, and demonstrated with a whole bunch of families on Two Route Highway in Wethersfield that are also recorded, confessed, and demonstrated involved with federal, with New Haven FBI and Connecticut news media, with predicate acts, fake words they attached me to, fake locations, fake ties to doctors as a kid. These are the ones that did it, fake ties with doctors as an adult. 3 times they forced me into Hartford Hospital for mental evaluation. This is people recorded before they caught the principal child offender. I caught them with worse. Now there are a whole bunch of Wethersfield police, like associated in other police forms, like other FBI and CIA and foreign and domestic with the overt criminal enterprise associated with the DeMoro family. I never saw Joe DeMoro from my town, Wethersfield, on Central Connecticut State University in my life, but his cousin and others are recorded, confessed, and demonstrated involved with predicate acts with him, and with judges and prosecutors involved with remote uses of the colleges and universities simultaneously while they are involved with racketeering, further involved with their predicate acts roles with the principal child sex offender and the switching what is actually recorded online with other stuff. Then they want to pretend then they want to rely. They say, oh, we're across the world trying to make democracies. We can't make ourselves look bad. That's the trick. That's the method. That's part of the methods. That's part of the methods bound. Then they want to speak about people's passions and emotions while they're sick. It's going to reveal them as sick, fake punks. Every single one of them. That's what speaks for science. That's what pretends to be for science. Fakeness. Not science. Science reveals real fast the evidence is. Real fast. The short words are protracted and everything gets out of the way because it can't stand any longer because it's a victim. But it's a victim predator because it's not admitting it. And you're denying it. You have the sequence shift. You have to self-value the fake things that are stacked in databases and already having been stacked in databases. And every time you connect, you say, oh, the coronavirus is killing more people than the World Trade Center attack. Don't forget the response we had to that. And not alone, because other countries that were involved with it, in our own, were involved with it. They were involved with leading up to it, criminally with it. They were already having used Saudi families in their falsified, they're already using Central Connecticut State University, other Connecticut campuses, Trinity Colleges, recorded, confessed, and demonstrated also having been used with the people that are involved with criminal uses of Saudi families, leading up to the World Trade Center attack. In that context, with proven post-dated documents having been post-dated from inside the Ninth Circuit to insidiously make them appear late to the panel of judges right before the World Trade Center attack that was proven. That led up to a 2006 part of a district court case /S in Connecticut. The other one was in Manhattan right before the World Trade Center attack. I don't know the Keene family. He was only left a good impression on me from T-ball. You know what I'm saying? There are people that knew where I was, and then they would play games with kids. Like there are people with the intelligence community associated with a Pandolf family, and and the intelligence community meaning interbranch family members, every single person that works for every identity, the ground location, and the people that tied to them, and their neighbors. That's because of how the grounds locations are used. That's how they use the locations next to the locations they use criminally for investigations. Investigators where and how they're fabricating and having fabricated audio and video. And this is where and how they keep lie progression roles self-valued by the grammar school kids, because they make them self-value sequence shifts. They make them self-value sick, fake treatments of positive and negative that they're told are all right. That's exploited a whole bunch of ways that everyone misses as victim predators with it. See, we would have this revealed, but we don't have integrity. The reason you need people to be trained to be certain types of experts is so they won't do what they do. Not so, in other words, so they have integrity. Not so they can fake it. In other words, the answers are coming from outside because they don't have the answers inside, and they would have accepted the answers from outside. They want themselves to make up they can't. Their identity, the ground locations are already criminally foreign influence, juxtaposed many ways. All kinds of ways lawyers are criminally foreign influenced with the justice system throughout the country. You have to understand how they have psychology with physical delusions still, originally and still, and how they have psychiatry with physical delusions originally still, all kinds of natures of organized crime bound, including uses of the lawyers remotely. Now make sure Hartford Hospital gets onto paper, and they're going to have to sue themselves with me, or they're going to get hurt by the Attorney General, which is obligated here. This is what is actually recorded. See, they're preventing presidents from countering this, and to do that, they're maintaining uses of the styles that are preventing everyone from locations from real proper quality of fact cheaping nature. So make sure, Connecticut, and make sure I get a response. I still haven't got a response for the confessions of the principal sex offender and the other people associated with the campus and the houses next to it. That's what's actually recorded. You have Wethersfield police pretending not to understand. They're forging names and switching names. Before the coronavirus attack, an officer, Jerry Miller, and others, before the coronavirus, Officer Jerry Miller and others are still recorded, confessed, demonstrated, confirmed, involved with the principal child offender school. I called the school again. I'm still haven't gotten my answer. I still haven't got a response because they're still using methods recorded. They asked other people about things I asked them about, pretending to use investigations legitimately. They attached me and others to fake locations, fake words, fake conversations about things that we never had conversations about, including people that are pretending to know me, like this Joshua Julian, involved with Facebook, used interbranch by judges and prosecutors sick as day, using their kids and their extended family members through time. One's associated with a Brian Silver. One's associated with a whole bunch of Della Fera family members involved with identity thefts and frauds. Now, there are people that from Hartford Hospital recorded, confessed, and demonstrated DeSimone. They only said the name DeSimone name drop. They prevent people the right to remain silent, then they attach you to fake words anyway. But they have some people involved with sexual offenders and drugs crimes, medicine crimes on my street with kids, and through time. And with people that used to live here named DeSimone. That Hartford Hospital has a guy named Britt, recorded, confessed. That's one of the names they brought into this. They have other women that they forced into a Hartford Hospital for mental evaluation in the area too. That they said that one woman and mother tried to threaten to kill another one mother. Now, these are also people recorded, confessed, and demonstrated involved with all kinds of racketeering with forensics locations with the same house/S, involved also on CCSU through time, involved with the overt criminal enterprises recorded, involved with predicate acts with them, illusions with them timed, and falsified police reports rolls with the police forms, forging names, switching names. Wethersfield police chief has an extended man family members called a Mazzucato family. I had nothing to do with them. They've been pretending other, per John Maiano, who's also involved with people, dozens of people from the Britain Superior Court, involved with predicate acts intercities with him through time, sequence shifts, falsified police reports, switching names, forging names. Now also with a Cololo family. I don't think I ever even seen them together. They used to hang around the whole time he was in my grade, Ray Cololo. He used to hang around with the younger people and people in my grade that I never hung around with. There were some exceptions they set up just so if I tried to say that, they would try to deny it. In these contexts where the courts and where the police firms already have been using methods to pretend they have integrity where they have none. So you have some sick killers every day. I don't know what I was reading about. Some guy got out of his cuff somehow, associated with the Kennedy assassination somehow. And some other guy, and he was in prison. Before they were going to go into the prison, he got out of his cuffs and he ran, and the guy shot him in the back. Oh, how convenient. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. That's other people's reporting. What is recorded true always is that John F. Kennedy said there's a conspiracy against this country. We have people pretending our citizens are making conspiracy theories. Those doctors and the ones associated with them, foreign and domestic, tons of them. They have with medical locations. Hartford Hospital has an Institute of Living. It has their triage associated with it. And with military families involved with the investigations of the World Trade Center attack. Now, the corruption with that was also associated with the body dumping spots through time connected. And Enzo Fienza and people on off the state of Connecticut judicial branch offices are also involved with predicate acts with the buildings downtown Hartford. A Kerr family and a Perone family also recorded, confessed, and demonstrated they had through time. There were people involved with their investigations, and religious people associated with the religious locations that are involved with identity thefts and frauds with them. They wanted me to go to a concert of MC Hammer one time. I don't know these people. These are people that sought me out to make all these confessions and demonstrations. And this is when I was in middle school. And so it was filling in. When I was in grammar school, it was recorded, confessed, and demonstrated how an O'Brien family with the executive branch, and how a Gold family with the political branch as a mayor and his family members, how they're involved with predicate acts of juxtaposed natures and confessions and sequence shifts and roles with methods where they make instances where they pretend passions and emotions through their kids. Now, these same ones are involved with the Joshua Julian who was pretending lies about my father in the mafia as one of the ones who's involved with overt criminal enterprises and sexual circles that are recorded, confessed, and demonstrated involved with identity thefts and frauds with him, falsified police reports with him, and with the principal sex offender who was still on the campus when he said that to me while in a conversation where he was on the Facebook page of the Principal Sex Offenders Campus. Now, there was more tied to that. There are people with a Scalora family involved with the intelligence community and with the family members, their extended family members, a Colella family, involved with the confessions of the Wethersfield police from the Wethersfield town offices and the Wethersfield Police Department, forging names, switching names, then playing stupid. So make sure they get onto paper real fast, and make sure you respond for why the Wethersfield police chief and all these people tied to his family keep making them try to be tied to me. You sick fuck fake punks. Now, these are people in the on-off web school through time, and there's houses on web. I don't know Greg Monday. He's recorded, confessed, and demonstrated one of the ones involved with Justin Klovinskis. I don't know his brother's family, his mother and father. His mother confirmed. I don't know if she's telling the truth about the father having died, but they're involved with military police, intercities through time, people that were involved with programs with the kids that are involved with identity theft, fraud, falsified police reports roles, drugs crimes, medicines crimes, simultaneously pretending to be against that. So make sure I get a response. Dylan family. You also recorded, confessed, and demonstrated, confirmed one of the ones with the military on my street, criminally involved. Identity theft, fraud, falsified police reports, involved with teachers I had in the past with confessions, and with students in that class, like in those classes, like a Padlow family, and other people associated with with this Colella family. We're next to the state of Connecticut judicial branch offices. We also recorded, confessed, demonstrated, confirmed with a whole bunch of people with mobile gas stations involved with them. That's why before I went to work there at mobile gas station. And there's nothing personal against them. This is the intelligence community. These are the judges. There's a Judge Smith I had to write a complaint about when I was a kid. It's way worse now than a complaint. We need the Attorney General. We need federal stewardship of Connecticut. They have the guts to go up and pretend that's just legitimate politics. They need to get down, or they need to repent too. So make sure. I'm asking you again. Make sure I get a response from that school. And don't attach me to more fake conversations about it. I want to know about the Scalora family. What house do they live in next to the school, too? What house? And I want to know because their neighbors are involved, too, further, with these DeMoro families, with these two Mendez police. Attach me in fake quotations on the Wethersfield Police Department with him, one of them. And the other one with them, we're on the New Britain Superior Court, involved with federal crimes with these two Mendez police, with child sex offenders. Also, no, and drugs crimes, wire crimes through time. That's probably tied to the A&T, maybe, to the AT&T, too. Maybe because they don't want people to talk about things. Because the AT&T through time, too, is involved with the SNET, too, with Chris Walters and his mother, and he's got brothers and family members tied to Washington, D.C., and tied to World Trade Center. Like, he recorded, confessed, and demonstrated, confirmed, was involved with the Ray Colella and with the Joe DeMoro and with a Kerr family. I don't know if he knows Joe DeMoro. I'm assuming because he knows them. Those are their friends. Every once in a while, some of those people. Every once in a while, Chris Walters would pretend to know me, and I would let him do it because he's making confessions to me about other people. That, in other words, he gave me an affidavit because a Judge Smith I had to write a complaint about. A prosecutor, Soulsby, he's also recorded, confessed, and demonstrated with Brian Silver, and with other people from my town that work with the Britain Superior Court and Hartford courts that are criminally involved. Before the World Trade Center attack, Hartford courts were involved with the depositions for Robert Luskin, the former director of the FBI, in his defendant capacities, and his co-defendants. 3 of them involved with the kids I went to school with, and with those police that with criminally but when I was a kid. And then on and off Fox Connecticut News, on and off WFSB, involved with predicate acts with them, which they would rather have it that way than fix the fake words they attached me to. And way worse. Now those are people right near the locations downtown with the police forms associated with the Kerr and with the religious spot with the Kerr family and with the Perone family. with St. Anthony's Church in Hartford around the corner from. Nothing personal against the church. This is how they keep their identities. They kept them extorted. They keep them forced to fake. They kept they kept roles. They have an O'Brien family also with the religious locations, and the Kerr family also recorded, confessed, and demonstrated with other religious locations. There's one on Route 3. I don't know. It's a different church now, but the family, the daughter of the guy who ran that, and people associated with that are involved with his narratives, where they're using the right to lie where they don't have it. They're also recorded, confessed, and demonstrated all along Route 3 through time, involved with people with predicate acts, identity theft, frauds, everyone speaking to other where that's used criminally. Are you out of your mind to pretend anyone that Interbranch is not with the mafia? They have the overt criminal enterprises like the Los Solitos. Kept needing to hide the same sequence shifts, like with this Fianza family, with the body dumping spot of Billy Grasso, with their tile place. They said, per them, recorded, confirmed online to me and others. They confessed this. Male and female police forms associated also with Wethersfield locations, like right next to the state judicial branch offices. He's associated with a house there and houses on Two Rod Highway, which runs into Hangdog Lane, though, which also has houses associated with Wethersfield Pizza, and Wethersfield Police involved with predicate acts with them, and with New Britain Superior Court. I don't know this Brian Silver, but he's been recorded, confessed, demonstrated, confirmed by a whole bunch of people since I was a kid, involved with the Leahy family and other doctors and judges and prosecutors involved with drugs, crimes, medicine, crimes with kids, identity thefts, frauds, falsified police reports, wire crimes, mail crimes, and they're fucking running cases. Get the fuck out. Excuse my language. Make sure you fucking get me them on writing, and pick one name in sequence too, because they have Wethersfield Police recorded, confessed, and demonstrated they had 2 different arrests. One of them was when they forced me into the Hartford hospital the first time. The next 2 times they lied too. They were not, I was calmly out. They attached me and my family to fake words. And they had rape threat rolls with the online rape threats right before that happened on Facebook. These people have been using Facebook because they've been lying about behavior. Now, so you have some sick, sexually involved. There are more people. There's doctors and there's Judge Killian. See, but that was the second time I was there, or third time. I don't know, it was the third time. But this Judge Killian, second and third time, this Judge Killian is involved with I don't know if he was involved the first time. I didn't see a judge. But he records himself fabricating audio and video, and with physical delusions. And he's a rules crime predator simultaneously. So we need to get people onto paper, because they just speak a whole bunch of lies into paper. Things that are not even real, that they're pretending are recorded. So make sure you don't pretend you have integrity. Interstate, not one of you branches of government. You are sick. Think about it. You guys are real sick. Now, make sure you follow mandated law and get down. Don't pretend you could have another election in town. Respond for the campus for the now. Now! Respond for the campus. They understand what that means about the rape threats and the confessions of the past principal. You respond to me. You respond for the fucking Wethersfield police chief with his daughter and with his extended family members attaching little kids to fake ties to themselves, fake natures of ties to themselves and their sick friends associated with the courts with them with the predicate acts. Get down. Also, that's Mazzucato Bakery in Rocky Hill and Hartford involved criminally with WFSB. Make sure you fix the fucking fake news, WFSB. I asked you 50,000 times nice. Fix the fake news, the fake words you attached me to, fake locations as a kid too. You attached me to while the principal child offender was still active. You guys are setting yourselves up So you can try to do damage control, make it look like you're only doing damage control, so you can hide more lie progressions for the rest of the people sickly involved with you. There's the body dumping spot of Billy Grasso and of a serial killer. That serial killer is also personally criminally involved with you guys, and with Sandy Hook has a numbers of ties personally to crimes and crime methods on my street. Through time, relevant, those illusions, as the ones involved on and off the child campuses through time, criminally involved, including private ones. There's a Tim O'Brien also recorded, confessed, and demonstrated roles as one of the ones involved with private school kids that are involved with identity theft, frauds, and falsified police reports roles, drugs and medicines crimes, and with people with the corners of Highcrest Street. And there's some kind of a relationship between Russians and Tim St. Onge with NASA. Nothing personal, Tim St. Onge. Tom Peruta is one of the people recorded, confessed, and demonstrated. I don't know who was with the Wethersfield Police Department calling with Inspector Mike, but that was since before the coronavirus. See, they're just adding up things intercities with the police with these wire crime acts and methods. And then they don't give me any writing since I was a kid. So make sure I get writing. Fast. Don't lie with these judges pretending to be about countering crimes. They're crime methods. They've been committing crimes with the killers, with the body dumping spot people. Well, we're gonna heal them, but you have to heal their physical delusions. We have to get through their rules, crimes, predator methods. We have to get through their criminally foreign influence premises treatments. Make sure you don't be cowards and force response. Respond to my video here. Let's get it going. Chant to respond to Anthony, force them onto here. Pick one name, that's our chant, because they switch names and forge names. Pick one sequence. These are people on the World Trade Center attack location, on the court next to it, with proven post-dated documents that are further involved with Connecticut courts, with the same people involved with the investigators that recorded. They're lying. The investigators of the World Trade Center attack, and they're involved since. They've been fabricating audio with WFSB attached me to fake words. They attached my mother to fake words. They attached me to fake ties to doctors as a kid. Make sure you follow mandated law for them. Make sure I get a means to counter peacefully on paper. Get on paper now. Pick one name in sequence too. You know I said that. You know what I'm talking about. They pretend they don't understand people. So I don't want to talk. There's nothing is separable from this.